All right, guys. So, as I've been saying over the past few days, the Democrats have revealed themselves to be all in on the far left agenda when it comes to pushing a certain lifestyle on children, right? We've seen it down in Texas. Okay, we see it down in Florida. Those are two states right now that are particularly going through situations in which there is legislation that is being passed by the GOP that the Democrats are vehemently opposed to, which again has revealed where they are on this issue, right? They're totally okay with kids castrating themselves, okay, and for sexualized gender education to be taught to kindergartners. They're totally fine with that. In fact, they see it as a civil rights issue at this point. I mean, they literally had high school kids in Florida storming the Capitol, engaging in an insurrection over this stuff. That is how hard they are fighting for this issue. And I really do believe that the Democrats, they're biting off a little bit more than they can chew. I don't think that people agree with the things that they're basically advocating for here. And I think what the Republicans are doing is pretty much common sense. And it doesn't come from a place of hate as much as it comes from a place of, this is just common sense, right? We shouldn't have kids, children having sex change operations, and we shouldn't be talking to them about, explicit topics when they're in kindergarten. Okay. I think it's very clear, and I think reasonable people agree with that. However, again, the Democrats nowadays are not reasonable people, as again, the woke agenda from them is just going further and further and further to the left. And when it comes to what's going on in Florida in particular, what is interesting is that a lot of the outrage is based on a lie, okay? And we're going to talk about that. But before we get in that, I just want to let you guys know, if you like my channel and you want to support my channel, you can do so using the links in the description below. You can support the Patreon, you can support the PayPal, you can support the merch. There are multiple ways to support the channel if you would like to do so, including getting yourself one of my signature racist mugs, which is a daily reminder of the 2022 definition of racist according to the left, which is anybody who disagrees with the Democrat Party. So that being said, let's go ahead and play this super cringy ad. Okay, now I'm not sure if you guys can stomach. It's 1 minute and 15 seconds of straight cringe, okay, in which the Democrats are saying gay in response to Florida's don't say gay legislation.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Gay. I said it.
Gay!
Gay.
Gay.
Gay?
Gay.
Gay. Gay.
Gay.
I'm gonna say it. Gay.
What do we know about Marlon Brando?
That he's gay.
Gay.
Gay. Gay.
Gay.
Gay.
Gay.
Gay. Gay.
Gay.
Yay.
Gay. Homossexual. Homosexual.
Gay.
Gay.
Gay. Gay. Gay. Gay.
Gay.
Trans.
Gay. 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 Gay.
Give me a kiss. Mwah.
Gay!
Yeah, so this is what Democrats are doing, right? This is what they're doing with their time when they're supposed to be, legislating and worried about issues that actually really matter, right? This is what they're doing. They're making ads in which they're kissing and saying the word gay, right? And the funny part about this is that, again, this is based off a lie, as the legislation that they're referring to is actually titled HB 1557, Parents' Rights in Education, right? It's not titled Don't Say Gay, right? So the Democrats are trying to push this narrative that this legislation is not going to allow students or teachers or whatever to say the word gay or to talk about any topics in school that have to do with homosexuality or LGBTQ. And that's just 100% false, right? It's just 100% false. It's not true. Okay. I mean, they're sitting here making ads saying a word that they claim is being banned that's not actually being banned, right? It's funny how, again, they're protesting and rallying high school kids based off a lie, making them think that this legislation does something that it actually doesn't do, right? And it's funny because the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, he actually set a reporter straight on this, right? As a reporter tried to confront him with this buffoonery and this nonsense of, calling it the Let's Say Gay bill and trying to imply that it does something that it doesn't do. And Ron DeSantis just wasn't having it. Take a look.
Seven parental rights and education, what critics call the Don't Say Gay bill, is on the Senate.
Does it say that in the bill?
Know that you support.
Does it say that in the bill?
I'm
asking you to tell me what's in the bill because you are pushing false narratives. It doesn't matter what critics say.
It says it bans classroom instruction on sexual identity and gender orientation.
For who? For grades pre-K through 3. So 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds. And the idea that you wouldn't be honest about that and tell people what it actually says, it's why people don't trust people like you, because you peddle false narratives. And so we disabuse you of those narratives. And we're going to make sure that parents are able to send their kid to kindergarten without having some of this stuff injected into their school curriculum.
Yeah, so Ron DeSantis set that guy straight, right? In the most Ron DeSantis way possible, okay? I can't lie to you guys. I mean, the more I listen to Ron DeSantis, the more I see Ron DeSantis, the more I see some of the things Florida's doing, how he's running that state. Man, I mean, look, bruh, I would love to see him be president in 2024. I really would, okay? But, with that being said, he's, again, 100% right on this. Because, again, the left made up this term and called a bill Don't Say Gay when that's not in the legislation at all. Like, that term is not in the legislation at all, okay? What the legislation does, if you read the fine print, is like, hey, you can't be teaching courses about, sexual identity and gender identity, stuff like that, to kindergartners through 3rd grade. And I think most reasonable people are going to look at that and say, yeah, that's reasonable, right? That's something where it's like, I'm okay with that, okay? Like, I'm cool with that, right? But the idea that this bill prohibits any type of discussion about, I guess, LGBTQ rights or history or anything like that in all of public school is ridiculous, right? Or that it doesn't allow people to say the word gay or whatever in school, that is ridiculous, right? And that's what the Democrats are pushing here. They're pushing this idea that, hey, this bill right here is going to make it so you can't even say the word gay. You can't talk about anything having to do with LGBTQ in schools, right? Which is totally false, right? It's similar to the election stuff and the election claims that the Democrats are currently making, right? Where they're basically making the claims that, the Republican election integrity bills, they're keeping black people from voting, right? Joe Biden just openly says that lie and tells people that, and people just take it as fact, right? When there's no evidence whatsoever to suggest that the GOP voting laws are keeping black people from voting, right? The dude basically said that black votes won't count, okay? This is the president of the United States saying that. And last time I checked, the president of the United States ain't supposed to say stuff like that, right? The last president of the United States got impeached, okay, for making claims like that, okay? But, hey, Democrats always get special privileges, okay, over others, right? Because they're Democrats. But, yeah, with that being said, I find this issue and the issues that Democrats are fighting for nowadays to be very, very, very interesting, right? And how they're going all in on, hey, we want to allow biological boys to compete against biological girls in sports. We want to allow, this type of sexualized education to be taught in schools. We want to allow kids to undergo these permanent life-changing operations when they're like 8, 9 years old. We want to allow all this stuff. We're totally fine with it, right? And again, I don't understand how any reasonable person can say, no, this is okay, right? This is the type of stuff we should be pushing on kids, okay? I mean, nobody is sitting here trying to say that, hey, we trying to make it illegal to be LGBTQ or whatever. Nobody's doing that. But what he's saying is that, look, we can't just be pushing this stuff on kids and children, especially in public schools, right? I think that's really what the issue is here. But hey, like I said, leave it up to the left to basically blow an issue out of proportion. Again, so let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.